I don't talk about this a lot, but I think it's important to share. My father died of melanoma skin cancer over 20 years ago. I was actually in my second year of medical school when he was diagnosed with metastatic melanoma. I don't want you to have to go through the same pain that I did, so I knew I needed to make this video. I wish I was able to make it many years ago because when caught, early melanoma and other skin cancers are so easy to treat, but you need to know what to look out for. So keep watching because this may literally save you or a loved one's life. Skin cancer is the most common cancer in the United States. In fact, current estimates are that 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer in their lifetime, with over 9,500 cases in the United States diagnosed every day. So chances are at some point in your life, either you or someone you love will have it. That's why knowing how to spot it and catch it early are so critical. The first important thing to understand about skin cancer is that not all skin cancers are the same. We divide them using the terms melanoma skin cancer and non-melanoma skin cancers. Melanoma skin cancers speak for themselves, so we'll go over that one more in a minute. But first, let's talk about your non-melanoma skin cancers. The most common ones are your basal cell and squamous cell carcinomas. Let's talk about basal cell first. Basal cell carcinoma is the most common skin cancer with over 3.6 million cases diagnosed each year in the United States. It is thought to be caused by long-term damage of the skin by UV rays from the sun or tanning beds. As the UV rays hit the basal cell layer, it causes DNA changes to the cells, and over time, these changes start to mutate and replicate, causing a cancer. Because of that, they usually grow in sun-exposed parts of your body, like your face, neck, scalp, arms, and hands. Basal cell cancers can present in several different ways. They can look like open sores, red patches, pink growths, shiny bumps, scars, or growths with slightly elevated, rolled edges, often with central indentations. They can ooze, crust, itch, or bleed. So as you can see, there are many different ways this cancer can look. So how are you going to be able to tell? Well, quite frankly, you won't and you shouldn't. So a good rule of thumb is that if you have a spot that just isn't healing, it's getting bigger, or just not going away, get it looked at by your doctor. Basal cell cancers need to be treated because as the tumor grows, it becomes more dangerous and potentially disfiguring, and certain rare aggressive forms can be fatal if not treated. Options for treating basal cell cancers can include burning and scraping, excision, light therapy, freezing, lasers, and even topical medications. Squamous cell carcinoma is the second most common skin cancer. These cancers are also caused by damage by UV rays or other damaging agents that affect the squamous cell on the top part of the skin. They can appear scaly red patches, open sores, rough thickened or wart-like skin, or raised growths with also a central depression. At times they can crust over, itch, or bleed. They usually arise in sun-exposed areas but can arise in different parts of the body as well. Most squamous cell cancers can be easily treated if caught early, but if they're allowed to grow, they can get huge, be disfiguring, and even become deadly. For example, this is a patient of mine who came in finally wanting to show me this. This had been growing for many years, and he would always try and hide it by wearing a hat until his wife finally made him come in and show it to me. This took several different surgeries, including removing part of his skull to be able to get rid of all of it. He was lucky though because it didn't end up spreading to other parts of his body. But unfortunately, if not caught early, squamous cell cancers of the skin can be fatal. In fact, it's estimated that over 15,000 people die a year in the United States. That's actually twice the amount of deaths than for melanoma. Now, the only way that we're going to know if a spot is a cancer is by doing a biopsy. So your responsibility is not to be like my patient. If you have areas on your skin that are rough, getting larger, crusting, bleeding, or otherwise changing, don't ignore it. Get in right away to your primary care doctor or dermatologist and get it looked at. Most things when they're small can be easily and quickly treated. And if you ignore it, you will regret it. The last non-melanoma skin condition that we're going to talk about is something called an actinic keratosis. Actinic keratosis are small, rough, scaly, or flaky patches on the skin that can develop after years of sun exposure. It's most often found on the face, lips, ears, forearms, scalp, neck, or back of hands. The reason we care about these is that if left alone, they can be a precursor to developing squamous cell carcinoma. This is an ideal time to treat these because by getting rid of them, you can prevent them from turning into a cancer. So look for rough, dry, scaly patches of skin. They'll usually feel a little bit raised, may have a hard texture, and can vary in color from pink, red, or brown. Usually by running your fingers over your skin and feeling for these rough patches is a good indication that you may have one. Sometimes these scales can fall off and regrow. If you notice these things, get into your doctor. They're most commonly treated by freezing them with liquid nitrogen, using topical medications, or some light therapy is used at the dermatologist office. Now finally, we need to talk about melanoma. This is the least common of the three, but it's the most dangerous because of its ability to spread to other organs if it isn't caught early. Melanoma is a cancer that develops after the skin cells called melanocytes are damaged and begin to grow uncontrollably. Melanoma is usually curable when caught early. In fact, the 5-year survival rate in the United States is 99% when the cancer is found in the early stage. But even still, there will be over 7,000 people a year that will die from this disease. Melanomas most commonly develop in areas that have had sun exposure, but they can occur in areas that don't receive much sun, like the bottom of your feet, hands, fingernail beds, and even in the eye. Those that are at most risk of developing it are those with fair skin, history of sunburns, excessive exposure to UV light from the sun or tanning beds, having a lot of moles, as well as a family history. Since early detection is the most important factor in surviving melanoma, it's a good idea to become acquainted with your skin. Pay attention to any moles that you have and look for anything that's changing. So when looking at your skin though, it's important to remember the ABCDEs of melanoma. A stands for asymmetry. You're looking for moles that are asymmetric. Look for ones that have irregular shapes, where if you cut it in half, they would look a lot different. B is for irregular border. Look for moles with irregular, notched, scalloped, or even feathered borders. C is for color. Look for irregular and varying colors. There can be different shades of tan, brown, black, or areas of white, red, or blue. D is for diameter. Moles that are greater than 6 millimeters or about the size of a pencil eraser may need further evaluation. And E is evolving. This refers to spots that are changing over time. Moles that are getting larger, changing in size, shape, or color need to be looked at. One easy way that I think about this is remembering the classic song from Sesame Street.
One of these things is not like the others.
If you have one mole or spot that just looks different than the rest, then get it looked at. When you go in to have these spots looked at, make sure you go to a doctor that has experience looking at skin. See your family practice doctor, an internist, or a dermatologist. Just make sure that you feel confident in the answers they're giving you. Melanoma is very serious. It needs to be taken care of right away and in the right way. Don't let happen to you what happened to my dad. He came in to have a dark spot looked at, and the doctor mistook it for something else and froze it. He didn't send it to a pathologist to look at and confirm the diagnosis. Unfortunately, a year later, he had metastatic disease and passed away within 6 months. If you have a dark spot that you're concerned about for melanoma, it needs to be biopsied. Skin cancer is not something you want to mess with, but the good news is that if you catch it early, it is the easiest cancer to treat. So the take-home message that each of you need to know and understand is that if you have any spot that is growing, changing, crusting, bleeding, or just not healing, get in to be seen. It doesn't mean that it's going to be cancer, but if you ignore it, you will regret it. But hopefully what you don't regret is the time that you spent with us today. We really hope that this gives you some guidance on what you need to be looking for. We really appreciate this opportunity to share a little bit of knowledge that hopefully can make your life better. See, that's our goal here at Family Med, to give you and your family the information that you need to improve your health. And with that, we thank you for spending time with us today, and we hope to see you in the next video.